Hello, last minute video this. Gorringes are on view for their sale on the 21st of March and we're on view tomorrow. I've been laid up because I fell off a shed and broke my foot, so that's sort of delayed things, sorry about that. So, quick little overview of some of the things in the sale. How about an Anthony Gross etching? There we go, and that's a fairly early one for Gross because he was born in 1905, this is 1927. Do your maths, and this is Plaza in the San Alfonso in Madrid. Quite dark and moody, isn't it? You know, it's interesting how he sort of moved his style onwards from there. But anyway, lot 666. What a number to start with. That's estimated 120 to 180. Otherwise, what else do we have? All sorts of things. How about some Rosenthal glasses? There they are, signed underneath by Rosenthal. Studio line, and they're estimated 100, 150, lot 269. We've got, sorry?
There's 10.
10 of them, yeah, absolutely. You can afford to break 2 and still have 8 people round for drinks. Keeping on down, as usual, all sorts of Asian things and various ceramics. A few paintings. I mean, this 661, you know, that's just decorative. That's not by anyone in particular, no signature upon it. Reasonable look, though. What is that, 1950s perhaps? Lot 661, 8120 estimate, modest estimate on it. Something a bit more where we have found out who the artist is. Dutch, lot 660, Adriaan Marinus Gilp, no less. Oil on canvas, does have a dink in it, came from a property in Lewis which we've just cleared with a lot of Dutch paintings within it, all of which are in the sale. Most of them are sort of wintry type landscapes. In fact, most of them are by this chap, Ludwig Klein, who was a family, was a descendant, or not a descendant, an ancestor of the people whose property we cleared. And so you'll see a number of works by Klein in the sale of varying scale and quality. That's sort of middle ground. There are some bigger ones, all in at sensible estimates, as we like to have. There's mahjong sets. We've got Bezic vases there, rather striking. Very unusual glass balls by Murano. There, look at that. That's all there, isn't it? And I thought I'd pick out some silver and jewellery to show you. So, round behind the counter here, nice little collection of vinaigrettes. So, what are vinaigrettes? Well, they are generally silver, not always, but typically silver. Little boxes which house a sponge. The sponge is not there in that one. We'll see if we can find one. There might not be any sponges present in these. But anyway, they would have a sponge and they would contain a scent. So that when you're wandering about and the streets are whiffy, you can waft that under your nose and not be offended by the foul smells about you. Pretty much sort of 1790s through to the 1840s. They do run on later, but that's generally the age range. Typically rectangular, often engine turned, grills inside. That's a filigree grill on that one. Otherwise, sometimes you will get a cut grill like that, engraved with scrolls and flowers, and collectors like them because of variation. So lot 805, you get 2 together in the lot. Nice shape, little bit of wear to the engraving. I think that's Thomas Smith. Roger will have identified them in his cataloguing. You get that one with it, which has a slightly more interesting shape. It has an 1840 and Mr. Selwood's name written to the lid. Again, we can identify the maker from it. So 2 in the lot there, lot 805, 100 to 150, probably going more 150 to 2. Another lot here, 802. Here we've got slightly different engraving, just a drilled grill, so that's a bit more boring. In with it, there we are, more typical scrolling grill. Nathaniel Mills, the maker, often regarded to be a more interesting maker. That was 802. 804, here's a modern one. Unusually, George V, and it's been really nicely enamelled to the lid. We opened it up and there, look at that nice pierced grill there, so hallmarked along the rim there, so that's rather nice, just being a bit different. Should be about £100 or so. Or lot 800, here's a novelty, well, more of a novelty, Victorian, shaped I guess as a hunting horn. We've got someone's initials upon it, we've got the maker's marks down there, and open up and there's a nice pierced grill. So that's a bit more fun, put 150 to 2 on that. So there's some vinaigrettes. Should you fancy collecting vinaigrettes, not a bad thing to collect. Plenty more unusual types to have of different shapes, like bags and satchels and books, and then you get into the castle top ones that have views of Windsor Castle or the birthplace of Lord Elgin or all sorts of things like that, and the prices can go up and up and up into the thousands. So you can collect those for quite some time and have a wide range of things, other materials as well, mostly silver, as I said. Elsewhere in the silver, well, how about those? Which came first, chicken and egg? These are lot 831, relatively modern, but they are silver and they're kind of fun, aren't they? And they're condiments. You've got a salt and pepper there. They're a little bit drunk, but maybe when they're full up with their salts and peppers, they stand up. Maybe they need a little bit of tweaking. Anyway, there we go, 831, 150 to 200 estimate. Otherwise, how about mugs or tankards? What's the difference between a mug and a tankard? Well, a tankard has a lid. So we've got some nice period mugs here. This one's George II, quite a nice shape. We've got the heart motif down at the bottom of the handle there. And that is in lot 815, 250 to 350, George II. George III there, slightly more traditional shape, nice weight to it, good solid one this. A canthus scroll handle, marked, nice set of marks to the underside as you'd hope for, estimate 300 to 400. Or if you want to go up to the tankard, we say early George III here. What are we looking at feature-wise? Fairly typical standard form. Hasn't been later decorated, which is good. Nice scrolling Rythen scroll thumb piece there to the lid. Little heart motif terminal. Small hole drilled in there, don't know why, it's the floor. Otherwise, base looks good. Another hole around there, so who knows, perhaps it was mounted onto a base at some point, I suspect. There's your hallmarks running around the edge there, which is where you'd like to see them. And on the inside of the lid as well. Roger will have identified the maker and everything else. So that is lot 812, estimate 400 to 600. So there we go, some nice bits of silver for you. And a few pieces of jewellery, starting with a watch. This is a re-offer from the fine sale. This is lot 958, ladies golden steel Rolex oyster, all the rage at the moment. Why didn't it sell the first time out? Well, probably because the bracelet is a bit stretched. Can you see those sort of gaps in between the links? That is what happens when you wear them a lot. They're heavy watches, and so they pull. I'll let Roger go to reception. They pull the bracelet out a bit and stretch it, so that has a devaluing version, but it's worth every penny of the 1,000 to 1,200 estimate it now carries. And then in the jewellery, well, it's a good selection as ever. Picked out a few rings for you. So starting with this one, early 20th century, amethyst, diamond, pleasing shape, little bit, if you're going to be critical, and we are, a little bit wishy-washy, those two outer stones, but still a nice thing. Good estimate, 150 to 2. That's very much a come along and buy me estimate. As is 940, look at that, that's nice. 18 karat gold and diamond, marquise shape, old cut stones, nice carved scrolling mount, pretty small, dinky little finger, got some age that. 120 to 150, I think that'll see over 200. 905, this is George V, 22 carat, excuse me, with diamonds, and we think emeralds, though the way they're mounted, it's not possible to fully inspect them. But it's a good looker, isn't it? It's got a nice, it's got character, hasn't it, that? 200 to 300 pound estimate, probably go on, as I so often say. 908, this is yellow metal, so that means we think it's gold, but it's not marked, so we can't say it's gold, we just have to say it's yellow metal. Nicely made again, look at that sort of fleur-de-lis capital to the shank. And there, look at that, that sort of foil backed with a diamond to the middle. Little chip at the edge, please note. Lot 908, so an estimate of 150 to 2. Again, the way the jewellery's going, I'm sure this will fly. But there we go, do have a good look at the jewellery. Lots of other things to see there. It's a good mixture, this sale, really is, right across the board. I mean, they usually are, to be fair, but you know, it is. So have a good look, and viewing starts tomorrow. Come along and see us. Thank you.